Reiwa, the name of our new age, beginning in 2019. Reiwa was created by combining two characters from the Manyoshu, the oldest collection of poetry in Japan. It is the first era that was named from a work of Japanese literature instead of a Chinese classic. Up until the naming of Reiwa, I had always thought that the problem with translating the Manyoshu was that the poems in it were too old, the content too difficult, and it had too many poems. But when Reiwa came, I was inspired to embark on the greatest challenge of my life, translating the whole work. But why spend all that time translating a work from so long ago? The Manyoshu is a work of world literature of the highest quality with many beautiful poems and is an important asset for mankind. It gives us a unique insight into an ancient civilization, an intimate record of the everyday lives of the people of Japan of the time. Because this collection is the one most revered by the Japanese, all across Japan there are currently some 2,300 poem stone monuments with poems of the Manyoshu on them. They have the potential to be useful for literary pilgrimages for the fans of the Manyoshu, immersing the visitor in the world of the poems. With the coming of Reiwa, I was inspired to go on a personal pilgrimage to these stone monuments and was struck by their significance, yet frustrated by the fact that their meaning is inaccessible. The poems inscribed on the stone monuments are written in an archaic style that even the Japanese find almost impossible to read and even harder to understand because the language of the poems is so old. No explanations or commentaries accompany the poems, so they are meaningless to anyone but the scholarly visitor. And so, to make literary pilgrimages possible for the non-specialist, I created a project in 2021 that placed easy-to-understand signboards beside the monuments. But that was just 27 signboards. Now I'm looking to complete the rest of the signboards so that the cross-country literary pilgrimage can truly be possible. For each poem, we create contemporary English and Japanese texts and also provide commentaries in both languages that explain the background and significance of each poem. In each location where there are poetry stone monuments, I will give the local authorities the right to use the content I created to promote local tourism and Manyoshu literary pilgrimages, which will also help in the preservation of important local sites that have been described in the poems. My hope is that these signboards will also serve as tools of revitalization of economically challenged areas, some with declining populations. This is urgent because with the context of the development in Japan, our panels can help preserve the environment. If a historic Manyoshu poem depicts a location, it will be difficult to just destroy the scenery around it by building a factory there. With the help of Nippon Zaidan and Japan Travel and Tourism Association, I was able to make a first step in actualizing my dream of the Manyoshu literary pilgrimage. But now I'm hoping to finish the collection and bring to Japan over 1,000 signboards. this time involving fans of the Manyoshu and world literature from all over the world via crowdfunding. I published a book a couple of years ago of my first 80 Manyoshu translations, but now, even working with another Manyoshu scholar, Shigeno Tomohiro of Tsukuba University, with our other responsibilities, we find ourselves being able only to do around 20 to 30 poems a year, because each poem requires so much research and preparation to make the extensive commentaries. Moreover, the Manyoshu has over 4,500 poems. The translation of the entire work is therefore a huge undertaking that needs to draw on the expertise of a large team of specialists, editors and translators to bring it to fruition. The Manyoshu has been cherished for some 1,200 years in Japan. Through this project, it will be cherished and will live on in Japanese and in English translations for the next 1,000 years. Please help to create these signboards and then come to Japan to travel the poems of the great work. Please help with this great project for Japan and for the world. This poem is one of the poems from the project. Line up the horses and come on, let's go to Shibutani's beautiful rocky shore to watch the waves flow in. It's a picturesque spot with views of a beautiful rocky shore and is now a designated national park known as Amaharashi Beach. Visitors to the many lovely spots of Toyama can now travel through the eyes of the poets of long ago and discover differences in the ways of seeing things, but also remarkable similarities.